Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the game today with Claret and
Yes,
Malcolm.
sir.
I am Malcolm. He is Claret, and today we bring you a couple of topics you wanna hear about. Go right into it. Please follow us, subscribe, share, like, comment. Our videos. We give you the best topics you wanna hear about. We give you an update, um, a recap of the playoffs. So, like, watch, and enjoy. Claret, do you have anything to say before we begin?
No. I'm just gonna say welcome back, everybody. Yes. Let's get into it. Let's get into
Let's
it.
get into it. So yesterday we had a thrilling game with the Pacers and the Boston Celtics,
Yeah,
and the Celtics won the game. Some would say
overtime.
fortunately, others would say unfortunately. Um, but we'll see how it goes. So the Celtics won 133 to the 120 points of the Indiana Pacers, but it was quite a thriller. It was quite a thriller because it went to OT, and that game. When I was watching it, I actually thought the Celtics would lose. There was a point I thought the Celtics would lose because the Pacers were marking the Celtics. You like too much on one-on-one, one-on-one matchups. Like there's very less stretching the floor. There's less ball movement. Oh, there's better ball movement, but I think when there's better ball movement, man movement is less. So it's too much one-on-one ISOs, and I don't know why they like that. So there was a point I thought that the Pacers were actually going to win. I mean, they were up 3 when there were a couple of seconds left. Yeah, we'll get into what happened and what didn't happen, but the general flow of the game, the Celtics it makes me feel like the Celtics are better in defense these days than offense. It felt like a game the Celtics had to win, obviously, because they've had more than 6 days to rest, and the Pacers have just come from a game 7 at Madison Square Garden just a few nights ago. So everyone thought the Celtics would essentially blow out the Pacers, but it didn't quite pan out that way. They didn't blow them out, and in fact, if you watched the game, it was more of a Pacers momentum. Pacers were getting what they want. They were exploiting the matchups that the Celtics were doing. They were running up and down. They had better defense. Tyrese Haliburton was cooking. Maston was cooking. Pascal Siakam, the whole pick and roll jumper in the midway, in the midpoint, mid ranges. Everyone was playing well. Nesmith played well. I was even about to say it actually. Nesmith played well. And their bench is actually getting better. In fact, I think their bench outscored the Celtics bench. TJ McConnell was making big buckets, making big defensive plays. Andrew Nembhard is cooking. So it felt like a game actually that I felt like it was more of the Pacers losing the game more than the Celtics winning, if you know what I mean. Because Celtics got lucky. They got lucky because they were about to go down. But hey, they are the best team in the league, and sometimes you need to win such games if you want to win the championship, so you can so you can put your name on your opponent's mind that you're here to stay. Even when it's not your best game, you'll still win, and even your worst game, you'll still win. So it felt like one of those nights where the Pacers actually had the go-ahead points in the clutch time, and then there was a couple of back-to-back turnovers, side out, and then they passed it to what's his name, to Andrew Nembhard, and then there was a first play when Andrew Nembhard gave the ball to the defense Aaron Nesmith, nice. And then I think he dribbled it on the line, and then it was out, so it went back to the Celtics.
Yeah.
And then there was a second turnover as well when Andrew Nembhard was out inbounding the ball, Joe Holiday's back was he was not focused. Nowadays that's the play now. They're running. They no longer get the person who's going to inbound the ball. The guard actually is looking for where the ball is going to go, so you can easily hit it off his back. So Nembhard fumbled and gave the ball to Pascal Siakam when he was running towards his own side, and then Pascal, he couldn't control it, and then the ball went out. So those back-to-back turnovers cost them. I think that's what led to them the game. And then obviously when Derrick White inbounded the ball, we also the 3 that Jaylen Brown made, and then a lot of media comments were coming up with LeBron James saying that this is why I tell you to always foul when you're up 3 and down, obviously. So, because it makes sense. But if you look at that play, there's not really. I mean, Jalen Brown didn't dribble the ball, so if he makes contact, and Jalen Brown already beat the screen before, like a couple of seconds earlier, and he was already going up. So if you foul him, he might as well get an and one opportunity, and that's how he lost the game. So he couldn't foul him, but I don't know, they messed up the screen, the double screen, but it was a good play from Joe Mazzulla. Giving them the credit, it was a tough 3 because he had to wait for Pascal Siakam to come, and then he rose up. But as overtime, business as usual. So they got into their rhythm, slowed down some of the Pacers because the Pacers like running. So they slowed them down. Made a couple of plays. Jalen Brown, couple of 2-point shots, and overtime goes very fast. It's 5 minutes, but it feels like it's just 2 minutes of action. If you don't play well in those first 2 minutes, it's like you're done. You're done for the whole game, even if it's 5 minutes. So the Celtics survived, and they are up 1-0. And yeah, there's a lot. What do you think about the game?
I mean, you basically you just gave a breakdown of the whole game, literally in just the time you've been speaking. But I think it was a very parallel or close game type of thing, right? Because as much as it was a game of runs, of course it's a game of runs, but they made it a game of runs to an extent where it became just, you're gonna make your run, I'm gonna make your run, and we're just gonna go toe to toe. We right there, you push, we push, but I think that the game got away from them when they started making very careless turnovers. Yes, of course, you are a fast-paced team, right? But down the stretch, you have to slow down. Like half-court short passes are great. Get out in transition, but these are the last minutes. You have to take care of the ball. It doesn't matter how much time you take to get a shot, but you want the best shot to come out of your plays, right? And I thought that the Pacers really, really used so much speed unnecessarily, yet they could have taken it slow and kept their lead because they had the lead going into like the last 2 minutes of the game. So building up on that lead, just going slow would have been better. And also it helps you to eat up some time on the clock, But I think that they made unnecessary plays that cost them very. And then in OT, I'm not gonna discuss that shot by Jaylen Brown because it's the biggest what if. What if I foul him? He makes the 3, and then now it's a 4-point play. Right. What if he even makes the 3s? Same thing. So I'm just gonna go with whatever my instincts tell me. And that's what Pascal did, and whatever happened. But also, credit to Drew Holiday overtime. Yeah, he locked down Tyrese Halliburton to an extent that I was like, well, the best defender has shown again that he is the best guard defender ever. I mean, right now in the NBA, right? And Halliburton made careless mistakes, turned the ball over, I think 3 times overtime, which they could have also did the same thing, made it a close game, but because of those little turnovers, they just they just ran away. And then that tells me that the Celtics are showing you how experienced they are. They have been there. They know how to do it down the stretch, right? What is the pace is gonna go like? Who do we go to? If people will be surprised. They went to the pick and roll with Derek White. They didn't go to Jason. No, Jason was going to just a couple of plays, but they went to that pick and roll because it helps them to either have kickouts, which no team wants the Celtics shooting 3s, no matter the time of the game. So, they have the experience, and I think a little bit of experience happened. And of course, it's game 1, right? We don't want to speculate too much stuff, but it's game 1. Play whatever you play so that we can see how to make adjustment here and there. But I think the Celtics showed you that they actually have the edge. But the Pacers still were right there.
Yeah, if you look actually at the stats, it shows that the Celtics actually one of the Pacers rather shot better than the Celtics. I mean, the Pacers were both teams shot 99 shots. Celtics made 47 of them, and then the Pacers made 53. So the Pacers were 53.5% from the field, and the Celtics were 47.5. Usually, it's the Celtics with the more percentage from the field.
And also now you look like we always been talking all year. We've been talking about the Celtics is the 3-point shooting team, right? If they don't shoot, they don't win. So now if they win without that percentage, we are looking at a different team here. Because if then they shoot that way, the Pacers are down.
I mean the 3-point shooting, even the Pacers had a higher 3-point shooting, 37.1%. Celtics had 33.3%. So you're wondering, how did Celtics win when they had a lower shooting night and a lower 3-point shooting night? So, but then you look at the turnover column, the Pacers had 21 turnovers, the Celtics had 14 turnovers. And out of those 21 turnovers, Aaron Nesmith made 5 and Tyrese had 3 turnovers. 2 of them on the OT, and that really cost them, So, usually, if you look at the box score, you're thinking the Pacers are going to get it done. Their bench played well. Celtics, Jaylen Brown, 26. Jason Tatum actually played well, 36 points. Al Horford hits a few big shots. Drew Holiday, 28 points. So, yeah, their whole starting 5 was in double digits. Usually they get it done, but I think now Joe Mazzulla has discovered that bringing too much of the bench is not going to get it done. He needs to rely more on the Jason Tatums and to do their job, because he was introducing the bench so much, so he has now limited their minutes. I think that's what helped them, is because usually when he brings on the bench, but if you notice the way the game was played, he also couldn't do that, because even the Pacers rather, it was just a game of runs. The Celtics began with a 12-0 run at the start.
Yeah.
They began
I was like, Celtics, you are fresh out of the gates, yeah.
So
but also,
go on.
You talked about the Pacers bench, yeah. There is a post on Instagram, on our Instagram page, where Tyrese is saying we have the best bench in the league.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't think whether the starters of the Pacers had much going, right? I think the bench really helped them, because Obi Toppin came off and he was firing left.
Obi Toppin 15 points, TJ McConnell 13 points.
Come on, man.
Shepard 2 points. That's a combined 30 points from the bench of the Pacers. Even if the whole starting 5 had a double digits, their bench combined 30 points from 3 people. Outscored the Celtics bench. The Celtics bench, Luke Cornet 5 points, Peyton Pritchard 8 points. Combined 13 points versus 30 points for the Pacers. So that bench actually played well. And then you look at the game, it was more the turnovers cost them, because I look at the way they're playing defense, they look solid.
Yeah.
They look solid. Their offense.
They have fooled us all year long that they don't play defense. They're just an offensive team. But then all of a sudden it's the playoffs and they start playing defense. But I think it's early, but you can see the experienced Celtics overrunning them. Of course, they might get it 1 or 2 at home, but I think the Celtics really have the edge and could close it out in 6.